Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Justin. I race a lot of Arca and I thought that I would post a couple guides for you. I haven't seen many around lately, so I want to start off with this week with Atlanta. Here are the settings that I use. 16:1 steering ratio. You can go ahead and, for qualifying, use 14 if you want to. The only reason I use 16 is because it's not that different for me, and sometimes I forget to switch back and forth, and it's a lot worse to do your race with 14 than it is to do qualifying with 16. And for the Arca car, like 90% of the time you're going to want -15 on the steering offset. This is going to make the wheel straight on the straightaways. And then the brake bias doesn't really matter here, but I put it all the way down for the race for the last few laps. You really don't use brake much at all here. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys no commentary lap from the perspective of me, and then afterwards I'm going to talk through it a little bit, talk about my lines and a couple tips and tricks for the lap to squeeze out a little more time. Alright, now we're going to go a little more in depth into the lap. So I showed pulling out of the pits because at this track there really are 3 sets of corners that make up your qualifying lap. Well, maybe even 4. So as you can see here, I'm really trying to wheel it out of the pits because you need a decent exit out of the pits to build up enough speed to make first lap your hot lap. So you can see here I was already shifting into 4th right as I was getting to the blue cone. That's about where you want to be. So going into the outlap 3 and 4, you can see I'm not all the way against the wall, but I'm about a lane down trying to build up as much speed as possible, and this is worth at least a couple hundredths if you do this right. So the first little trick I have is right here. I'm going to the cockpit for this. You can gain about 100th or 2 if you just cut the dog leg, and then you end up right as you would be anyways. You make sure that you're lined up straight going to the corner. Now here's the big corner, turn 1. So I tried to guide it towards the bottom, and of course it gets really loose there if you do that, but it's about the fastest that you'll get it. So you can actually use all 3 lines in hot lap for 1 and 2. I tried all of them. The fastest to me was getting a good bottom line, but that was also the hardest because you could see how loose it got off of 2. So you see you're let off, get about half on the throttle quickly, roll back onto it, and then just let the car tell you what it wants to do. Let's show one more time. So drive it a little bit deep, half throttle, roll back full the farther you get into the corner once you make the apex. Alright, and now we're going to come to 3 and 4. So let out a little bit before the black sign on the wall and just try to make a really late arc. Try to get it to the bottom, but if your car won't get down there, then don't force it. You can keep up the speed. Show that again. So I let all the way out and then get half back on the throttle pretty quickly and just let it run down the hill. And if you can do that wide sweeping arc, you can keep a lot of your speed. Let me know if this was helpful for you, and if not, let me know what I can explain to make it more helpful, anything else I can show. If you want me to do some long run tutorials on some of these tracks, I can definitely go into that too. Maybe bundle it up into one next time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.